these this morning?
No, we're just taking it as it comes. We're not under any illusions. I mean, West Coast, we're out with Josh Kennelly, Mark Lacroix, Nick Nat. But we have won 4 in a row, which is exciting. And we've got the big stage this week, which is somewhere where we're not usually playing. So hopefully we can get out there on Friday night and play some good footy.
You're ticking a lot of boxes. You're winning away from home against good sides, winning with injuries, winning close games, winning big games. That must be promising signs for you, though.
Yeah, it is, and it's all in this sort of month's been a very hard fixture for us. Obviously, the Perth trip, there's been a lot of 6-day breaks, so I'm very proud of the boys. I've only played once, so it's been pretty easy for me, but it finishes off this week with a big Friday night game.
David King says you can win the premiership this year. What do you think?
That was nice of Kingy. Well, we're probably at a point looking at the ladder last night, as probably all Melbourne fans were. I think 15th was at 24 points and 5th was at 28 or 32, so it's all very close. So it's going to come to round 23 and someone's playing for the wooden spoon and they can still make the 8, so it's going to be quite exciting.
The expectation is probably not something you felt a lot at Melbourne in recent years. Are you getting used to that now? How is that?
I still think there's no expectations really. Obviously, we want to play finals and I think the members want us to play finals, but we're coming off a sort of a 10-year gap of finals, so there's still probably no strong expectation from the outside, and we're just probably looking more within, but hopefully we do play finals. We're in a position to.
Did you feel a bit rusty on Saturday night after missing a few weeks, and how are you feeling now, your body?
They looked after me a bit. I started on the bench a couple of quarters, which is a bit foreign, but it was actually quite comfortable. I had a lot of time on the bench. I missed a couple of kicks, but I'm probably not supposed to kick anyway, so. But apart from that, I felt pretty good, and 6-day turnaround, which will test me, but should be okay.
Is that the plan at this stage, that you'll be fine to play?
Yeah, I hope so. I think looking into the Western Bulldogs game, which was before the West Coast game, the one before, we sort of said 3 6-day breaks in a row might be a bit hard, so that's why the decision was made to go for the West Coast game, so hopefully those 2 won't bother me too much.
And Clayton Oliver has copped a bit of flack over that incident. He's been a bit vocal on social media as well. As a senior player, do you talk to him about that sort of stuff, whether you get involved?
Yeah, I spoke to him. I said don't get into any of the Black Cat players because they're obviously a very, very good cricket side. And but no, Clayton obviously has come out and spoken and said that he thought he got hit and he got stunned a little bit by it, but the Twitter stuff I don't look too much into.
Given what happened with Tommy Bug on Instagram, now that he's engaged with Damien Martin on Twitter, do you think perhaps he should have stayed off social media?
Yeah, it's a bit surprising. I wasn't expecting Damien Martin to pop up on my Twitter feed, but he did. Look, once again, social media is their own choice. We did speak to Buggy about it just a little bit, but Buggy's not going to change too much of what he's doing, and I'm sure Clayton won't either. I think Clayton probably regrets sending the tweet out because the amount of tweets he got back to him. But it's all a bit of fun.
Should he focus the sledging on someone that was born, or that he saw what he could have possibly seen when he was not born?
That made a little bit of sense. Well, Damien did play cricket till about 2000, so maybe he did eventually see him once or twice, but the 94, the clip that he sent was before he was born, which was quite interesting, so obviously Colin Gawn has given him a few cricket tips there, but yeah, maybe just not sledge for a couple of weeks.
What do you made of Tom McDonald's? He's played in the ruck, down back, now out forward. He's a star wherever he plays. Yeah,
he got drafted as a forward. I didn't see the potential myself, and that's probably why there's a few coaches that get paid the good money. They saw the potential to play forward. I'll give him credit if he does it 2 weeks in a row. If he kicks another 5 this week, I'll be first one to shake his hand.
What about Jack Viney, the courage he showed to come back with the shoulder and get, I don't know how many contested possessions it was, but it was a lot.
It's going to take a lot to keep Jack Viney down. He'd actually need his shoulder to be hanging off the bone, I reckon, for him to stay off the ground. And that contest with Shannon Hearn in the last quarter, it almost was a momentum changer for us as well. So he's leading from example. We had no Jonesy out there, so he was the sole captain probably for the first time, and he played really well.
Is he okay?
I think so. I haven't seen him yet this morning, but once again, he'll need his shoulder off the bone to miss the Friday night game.
How do you approach a week like this, your third 6-day break? Does it have to be a pretty light week? And I guess guys like Garlett and Salem, are they sort of a little bit less likely to come up?
Yeah, it'll be light. We'll probably just have the one big training session on the Wednesday. Salem from my understanding, has done his hamstring. He looked pretty sore. He said he felt a grab up in Perth, so I'm presuming that'll be your normal 3 to 4 week type thing. But Jeffy played out the game. I know when I did my hamstring, I definitely couldn't play out the game, so I think he could be okay. And there's a couple of guys that are in the mix around rehab as well, like Watsy and Jesse as well. So if not this week, next week.
Do you reckon Jesse will get up?
I honestly don't know. He hasn't trained yet, so I think Goody's been pretty strong on maybe getting a couple of training sessions into him. But if it's this week or next week, I'm sure we'll be happy.
You've passed a lot of tests this year. Is it good to come up against a Sydney team that's really up and about and you get a really good audit, I guess, this week?
Yeah, I was looking at that. Sydney is 6 from the last 7. I think we're 5 from the last 6. So, in a way, it's the 2 form sides of the competition going up on the bigger stage. So, it's pretty exciting. They've got the best player in the game sitting up in the forward line that Tommy's not going to get. So, it's going to be over one of those young guys, Frosty and Oscar. So, it's going to be pretty exciting. Pretty good one for the fans to watch as well, I hope.
8 years into your career here, Max, did you ever feel the wheel wouldn't turn club as a whole?
Yeah, it was obviously a painful start. I missed a lot of those games as well, so I was sitting back and watching, which was almost harder watching the guys lose by 100 points in a lot of those games, and especially Perth. Like, we just come back from Perth, and that's the first time I've got back on a winning bus. So it has been a long time. It's also been my first game debut was a Friday night, and now 70 games later, I get to play my second one. So like, just shows how much that Melbourne were off the radar for a little bit. So it's exciting times.
The belief in this group, it's been obvious all year. Where does that come from?
It comes from the young guys. Christian Petraka's a pretty happy and confident man, and he gives nice belief to a lot of us. And I suppose you have to play well to get belief as well. So obviously 4 wins on the trot, including wins in Perth and Adelaide. It gives you that little bit of self-belief, and hopefully we can keep going.
One for the super coaches. Do we bank on you this week, or do we give you another week off?
I think my break even was around 200 this week, so I might have gone down a tiny bit. Oh my God, Sydney. Maybe another week.
You say there's no expectations, but in a year when everything's so even, like, there really is a chance, isn't there, where you can sort of vault to the top, and who knows what can happen come September?
Yeah, there is a chance. There's a chance. There would have been a chance if we'd lost the last couple as well. So that's how even it is. But we're in a pretty good position now. Top 4 was, I think, we're out by percentage or something like that. So we're in a relatively good position. We saw with Doggies last year; they finished 7th. You just had to be the form team of the finals to go the whole way.
Did you guys talk about the Dogs? Probably not so much now, but maybe in the pre-season that, like, anyone can do it.
There's a few stories. I mean, also international as well, with Leicester City and a couple of other teams. I'm not a big American sports person, but apparently there was a good American sports story as well. So, but there's like the stories of that happening at the moment. So we touched on that a little bit, but any year can be our year.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, boys.